Coming up in Finding G-Spots, we check out the Point King Lighthouse ruins in Albany. Welcome back to Finding G-Spots. So let's have a walk along the beautiful Albany coast and find the Point King Lighthouse ruins. Now it's a little bit hard to find, but you've got to drive past the port, park, and then you walk along the coastline. The first thing you'll find is this Ataturk statue, which I believe he was a military leader of Turkey back in World War I, and the statue is sort of promoting peace. So I'm not sure how those two things sort of exist. I need to read up a little bit more about the person in question. But anyway, directly opposite, got this beautiful wooden pergola which looks out here on the channel which goes into the port of Albany, which you can see there in the top right hand corner. And then a little bit further on you'll see the sign for the Point King Lighthouse ruins. And it's probably about a 20-minute walk at least from the car park where you park your car. Now you'll see there's a track which leads down to another place you can look at. There's a bench there where you can sit down if you want. And this is where you'll get your first glimpse of the Point King Lighthouse ruins. And obviously this is Point King. Now the building is relatively intact. The roof is obviously missing and there's no windows or anything, but it's amazing how well the building is kept after all these years, and it's been many decades since it was in operation. Obviously it was replaced by a more modern light, and there is a plaque right near the entrance which lists the lighthouse keepers and their families who stayed there, and also how many children they had. Amazingly, quite a few of them had many children. I wonder why. Maybe there was nothing else to do there. I'm not quite sure. You can read into that what you like. But anyway, it's an interesting place to have a look at. Now we were lucky, like I said, because the weather was just glorious. And I think if you went here on a cold winter's day, I think it might be a different story. I mean, the wind was quite strong even when we were there on a summer's day. So yeah, then you can have a look here at the ruins from some aerial shots which I took. So you can see it's quite interesting. Now, in addition to the lighthouse ruins here, which you can sort of walk around, there is somewhere else you can visit too. There's one more point of interest, and that is if you walk back from the path where you just came in, a little bit further down, there's actually a military gun which is still there, which was placed there, I believe it was around World War II, when Australia was, perhaps under potential threat of invasion. You can see some footage of it here, so you can walk around and have a look at that as well if you want. So yeah, quite a lot to do there, and a very interesting walk, and we would recommend definitely that you do it when it's a nice sunny warm day. Alright, so that's our walk that we did at the Point King Lighthouse ruins. Well worth a look at if you like looking at old buildings and enjoy learning about some history. I think you'd really enjoy it. That's it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you very soon with more great stuff on Finding G-Spots. Look after yourself, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.